With just 3 specific prompts, I'll show you how to turn Gemini into your personal web developer. By answering 7 questions, you'll generate a fully customized e-commerce website with backend, and I'll show you how to take it live on a free domain in just minutes. To get started with the free prompts, we go to matttutorials.com/Gemini. This link is also in the description of this video and in the comment section. Then on my website you can find all the prompts. Now, to be honest, I spent hours to refining these prompts over and over again. I ain't gonna give you them completely free. If you want to say thank you, just like this video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you want. I will be very grateful. If not, it's also fine. I still love you and hope you can build your perfect website. We're going to copy the first prompt. So press over here, copy to clipboard. Then go to Gemini and we're going to use the Model Pro. Very important. Then paste it in over there and press on submit. Now in this video, I will guide you how to answer all these questions. If you think you can do it on your own, you're perfectly fine. Go into the chapters of this video inside of YouTube and just skip to the second prompt. No problem there. But if you want to follow along, then just keep watching. The first question is your name and niche. Do you already have a name for your e-commerce website? And what specific products will you be selling? The more information we put inside of Gemini, the better the output will be. I would advise to give the name of your shop, but also already some kind of products and the names of those products, so he has an idea of what we are going to sell. If you're ready, press on submit. Then question 2 is all about your target audience. What is the ideal customer? All right, then we press on submit. Question number 3 is all about your design style. Now don't worry, question number 4, he will ask you for references with URLs for different kind of shops and how would you like to have it designed. I would like to look trustworthy, modern and optimized for conversion. Question number 4 is all about different kind of URLs, examples on the internet that you would like to mimic a little bit inside of your e-commerce website. Don't just put in Amazon or Walmart, only put in the sites that you really love. In this case, I really like the coolblue.nl website. It has this real great aesthetic look, it is trustworthy, it's calm colors. I just like it. So we're gonna press on coolblue.nl in my case, but do whatever you want. Question number 5 is about colors and logo. If you already have a logo, you can upload it right now to Gemini or let Gemini create one for you. That's also pretty nice. If you already have a logo, like in this case, just press over here on this add file and upload your logo to Gemini. For colors, I tell Gemini to use these primary colors, just some dark blue, light blue, and accent color is orange. But also I instruct him to use other colors that fit into this palette. If you don't have colors or a logo, just say surprise me or create something beautiful, or you can just do whatever you want. All right, once you have put this in, we press on submit. This is really nice, but right now Gemini is not continuing the questions, so I'm going to instruct him to do that. Please continue with phase 1, question 6. There we go. You know, sometimes you just have to help Gemini a little bit. It's still AI. Question number 6 is all about the categories and content, which are the 3 main product categories. You can also add in 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever you want, but I'm gonna keep it to 3. And also, do you want 5 realistic demo products? Yes, we want that, and later on we can add in our own products in the backend of our new e-commerce website. So in this case, I'm going to say the main categories are consoles, personal tech, smartwatches, and 15 demo products. Press on submit and we go to the final question, which is number 7. The last question is all about the tone of voice, and in this case also the language. I'm going to put in there English and total nerd style. Excellent job, we have now completed phase 1. Here is a summary of all the things we've told Gemini and how he interprets it and put it inside of here. If you still want to make changes to it, you can do so right now before we're going to add in prompt number 2. Then go back to my prompts and scroll down, we're going to copy prompt number 2. The engine, security and APIs, very, very important. Paste in the second prompt and press over here on submit. As you can see, I have built in a lot of security measures, and that's basically because we're going to use PHP and a MySQL database And you can log in on the backend. Customers can log in to view all their orders, download their invoices. We're going to send emails. So it has to be fully secured before deploying. So let me walk you through all the configuration steps. Now, don't skip these parts because they're very important. I need to guide you through all of those. The first one is what email address should be used for the main admin account. I'm going to use contact@matttutorials.com. Step number 2 is all about the taxes. Make sure to find this information on your own country. And if you don't have it yet, you can just type in "ask me later" or "I will fill this in later." Put it in over there and press on submit. Well done. Then we are at step 3. We always say in marketing, the money is in the list. That means that when you start selling products, immediately you have to start with saving those email addresses from all your clients, customers, and maybe they also can sign up for a newsletter or discounts. By doing that, you're going to create a list. If you start in 2-3 years, you're too late. Now the good news is it's completely free. So we have no reason to not start right now with collecting those email addresses. To do that, I've created a button over here, Set Up Sender. If you click that, it's a tool I use personally, which is excellent. It has a very low price. And if you scroll down, you can see you have 2,500 subscribers completely free. So we can already start collecting all the data. And when you start emailing, it's still free, up to 15,000 emails a month. That's insane. You can go to different pricing plans, which are better than MailChimp. If you press on compare, it's 68% cheaper. That's a lot. And not only they have annual and monthly billing, no, they also work with credits. So you can just buy a bunch of credits and then you can send them. Perfect if you don't send a lot of emails. So let's configure it real quick. We're gonna press on start with free plan. Then fill in your email name, your organization name, and create a really strong password saved in your password manager and press over here on register. Now you have to use your real address in here because of the international laws about emailing and spam and all these things. Put it all in there and press on next. Really great, you have to verify your email address and all these things. You can do that later on, but right now we go to the account settings and we go to the API access tokens. Then we're gonna press on create API token. It will be forever valid. Press on create and there we go. Press over here on copy token and then we type here is the API token and we paste it in here and we press on submit. Then we are at step 4. We need to have our database credentials from our hosting company so that Gemini can create the installation files. This is a very important step. If you've seen my other tutorial over there, you can still watch it. It's about creating a normal website with pure HTML, and we have set it up in 10 minutes actually. 5 minutes on the hosting company, we just upload it, and in 15 minutes you have your own website. But in this case, we need to have a database. We need to install it. We have to make sure that the database is connected to our e-commerce website so that orders can be stored and we can actually sell products. It's a lot more complicated and a lot more work. So we need to have a database connection. The only way to do this is to get hosting. Now, if you already have a hosting company, just make it a new place, enter in a new database and copy all that information in here. But if you don't have a hosting company yet, I understand you don't want to break the bank. That's why I have a discount code for you on an already ridiculously low pricing hosting company with great service and ultimate uptime. I used them for years. Go to my website with the prompts and press over here on get hosting. Yes, this is an affiliate link because this is my website. And if we press over here, you can see a discount code which gives you another 10%. Now I blurred it out because I want you actually to use my link. If you use a discount code without my link, I don't get any commissions for anything and you won't pay anything more, just keep that in mind. But it's just a way to say thank you and help me out creating these free tutorials for you guys. Make sure to copy this discount code and press over here on go to offer. And then we are at the website of Hostinger. Now Hostinger is a European hosting company in Lithuania and it's gigantic. They have millions of websites all around the world. Their infrastructure is phenomenal. They have excellent support, 24 hours, always there. And the prices, I mean, let's go look at this. $1.99 if you go with 4 years. per month. That's insane. Even a cup of coffee cost me more than this. Ridiculously low pricing, but the service is really, really, really perfect. Now in our case, we are going to use the business plan. 84% discount, but also with my code you get another 10% discount. Why the business plan? Well, we just need a little bit more power because of our e-commerce functionalities, and we want these daily on-demand backups. Very important if you have customers and clients buying on your website. We just need to have the daily backups. And also we have a free domain for 1 year. We have free SSL, and that's just perfect. All right, let's press on choose plan. Now look at this, we're gonna save so much money. And remember, this is for 4 years. That's insane. But that's not all. If you press over here, have a coupon code, and you paste in the code from my website and you press on apply, you can see you have another 10% discount. You are very welcome. If you type in your brand name, you can see if your domain is still available and if it's free for the first year. In this case, digitech.au is still free, and it's free the first year, so I'm gonna do that. One final thing I want to say about the price. In my hosting company where I have my clients, I sell them hosting for 25 euros each single month. And guess where they are hosted? Then press over here on continue. Then we need to register with Hostinger, so make sure to use a very strong password. Make sure to fill in all this information and press on continue. And then you can pay by using credit card, PayPal, or any local payment methods that are available in your country. Enter in all your details and press on submit payment. Your payment is done, let's go. Press over here on get started. Then we're going to walk through this really quick. Myself, press on next. We're going to create a website, press next. Then we're not going to select one of these, but we're going to select this, an empty HTML PHP website. Click over here. And then we're going to select the domain that we've just bought with Hostinger, and we press on next. And then we have to register our domain. That's pretty important. We press on next step, real contact information, or else it will be shut down after 14 days. Press on next step. And then we press on finish registration. And then select the data center where your website will be hosted. In this case, use the one that's closest to your target audience. Well, I'm in the Netherlands, so let's go with Germany. Fine, press on next. Perfect, welcome to your dashboard of Hostinger. Here you can see everything related to your website and your hosting. The thing we're gonna do right now is go over here to databases. You click over here and we press on management. Type in a database name. Just use your brand name, something like, let's create our username. Then let's create a database password, auto-generated. Press over here a couple of times, and then you're just gonna copy this one and put it inside of Gemini. Before we press on create, we need to make sure that Gemini has all this information. So we're gonna copy this one, press on copy, and paste it in over here. Then we go back to here and we press on create. And then for host, we type in local host. Now this works for Hostinger. I don't know if it works if you have another hosting company, but we're just gonna try this. If it doesn't work, you can always ask Gemini to fix it. All right, perfect. Let's press on submit. Then we have configuration step 5, which is about a payment gateway. If you want to build a real e-commerce website where people can actually buy products and pay them, we have to use a payment gateway. Now, payment gateways there's a lot of them. If you are in Europe, however, I really recommend you to use Mali. And again, if you want to set up Mali, please use my partner link there. So I get a small commission for every e-commerce site that signs up. And remember, I use Mali for my European websites for many years now. They're very cheap. They have everything. It works perfect. So just use that one. If you're not from Europe, you might want to set up Stripe or another gateway if you're somewhere else in the world. Just remember to really take a look at them because prices really vary per payment provider. I totally understand that you first want to do some research before putting it in right now inside of Gemini. That's why you can type skip to skip this step and do this later via the dashboard we're going to create inside of our e-commerce website. Really awesome. So we're gonna press skip and press submit. Well done, phase 2 has also been completed now. Let's go to the next phase. Scroll down and copy the entire prompt number 3, the launch, the final build. Now this final prompt gives some vital information for Gemini. Do not skip this step. If you read through it, you'll know exactly what I mean. I'm going to prompt it to do exactly what I want. We have an administrative workflows. It's going to create the database architecture, the confirmation of API status, description of the UI UX designs. It's going to do everything we want. Press on submit. Very exciting. Gemini shows us the last project summary. If you still want to change something or add something, feel free to do so. You can do now. And if you think, well, let's just go for it, you can always change things later on. I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. If you're ready to go, then type in this, yes, build it, and press enter. There we go. This might take a while Gemini is going to create our complete e-commerce website. Every single pages we need, but also, as you can see already, all the instructions to put it inside of our website. All right, Gemini has finished. Now we have to do some manual work. We need to copy all the code that he has generated, put it inside of the right files like this, put it in the right folders, and then we can upload it in one go back to our hosting company. Now to do this in the most easiest and robust future-proof way, because I know in a couple of weeks you want to make changes to your entire site and you have to upload the files back to Gemini. To do that in the most easiest way, we're going to make use of a free program called Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Of course, in the future we have agents, AI agents, they connect between Gemini and our hosting company, but we're not there yet. So we're gonna do it on this way. You open up the Microsoft Store and we search over here for the Visual Studio Code. There we go, this blue app. Just click on it and then we press over here on install. Okay, what is this? Well, it's an app that basically allows you to create different kind of files, and it knows exactly how it works, and it can also show a hierarchy. So that's pretty useful. To do that, you click over here to get the folder opened over there. Now, we press on open folder, and then you're going to create a brand new folder somewhere on your PC, and you're gonna call it anything you want, as long as you can recognize it later on. For example, Digitech website files, just like this. Then open that folder and press on select folder. If you hover over it, you can press on this plus button, new file. There we go. We want a new file. Now go back to Gemini to see what kind of file we need. You can see we need config.php. Now we're just gonna copy this name. Don't use the /, copy it. Go back to Visual Studio, press over here on this one and press config.php and press enter. There we go. Now we go back to Gemini and you press over here on copy code. Copy the entire code. Go back to Visual Studio and press on edit, paste. Really great. You can save this, of course, with Ctrl+S on your keyboard or with file and save. That's important to do. Then we're going to create a new one. Now back to Gemini again. Copy this one, install.php. This is a self-destructing installer. Security, of course, very important. Again, press on new file. Paste in install.php, press enter. Then we're going to paste in all this code. And we press again on Ctrl+S or press file save. Ooh, it already has a flying camera, toast notification. I'm very curious what this website will be like. Scroll down again and we see over here, the /assets, style.css. So Gemini has now created an extra folder called /assets, and inside of that is style.css. All right, we're just gonna copy all of it, copy. And then we're going to, over here, we press on this new folder and we paste it. Just remove this assets. Okay, within assets, click on it. We press on this new file and we type in again, paste style.css. Press enter, copy this one and paste it in over here and press Ctrl+S again. Now I know you're feeling like a real web builder right now. Good job, it took me years to think of all this, so excellent, let's go. And that's it. And then we scroll down for the final word of Gemini. Now it's time to upload your entire website to your hosting company. We are going to use a little program for this. It's called FileZilla. Why are we doing it this way? Well, if you want to change a lot of things about your e-commerce website, and trust me, you will, you are going to re-upload every time little changes to your website via Gemini. And that way, FileZilla is the easiest robust way to do this. So you first go to the website, and the URL is filezillaproject.org. Now we don't click on this button when we go over here to download, and then we're going to more download options, and we're going to show additional download options over here because we don't want all the sponsors and all the things. Select the version you need. I need this one, setup.exe. Just going to download it and then run the installer. Now, welcome to FileZilla. The first thing we're going to do is click over here on the site manager, click on it. This list is now empty. So what do we do over here? We click on new site and we're going to fill this all in. We're not going to use the FTP file transfer. We're going to use SFTP, which is way more safer. Then we're going to fill in this information. Where to get it? Of course, from your hosting company. We need the host, the port, the user and the password. To get that information, we go over here to Advanced and we go to SSH Access. Click on it. And here's all the information we need. We're going to enable the SSH. There we go. Now it has been enabled. And you just copy all these things and paste them inside FileZilla. Once you've pasted all in, make sure to go over here and change the name of your website. So click on Rename and type in the name of your website. And then we press over here on Connect. Then we press Always Trust this host, press OK. On the right side, we go to Domains, we go to Digitech, and we go to Public HTML, very important. And then you can see default.php, that is correct. Then on the left side, we now go to the folder where we have created all the files from Gemini. And now this is really easy. What do? You just right click on the default.php and you press on Delete. Delete it from the server, now it's gone. And then we select all the files that we've created with Gemini and we right click and we press on upload, or you just drag and drop it to the right side. That's it. Beautiful. Now everything is right there. Now let me show you a really neat trick. If you want to change files later on with Gemini, then you go over here to Edit and we go to Settings. And then we get all the way down here to File Type Associations. Now, there's nothing here, but we're gonna create one because we want to open every PHP file inside of Visual Studio. Or maybe you have some other app you want to use. That's all fine. We're just gonna type in this PHP and you have to type it exactly like this. In my case, I want to open PHP with this app. See, blah, 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 blah. There we have Microsoft Visual Code, code.exe, and then you finish it with open. That's basically it. We press on OK. Now, if I now open, for example, config.php, right click and I press View Edit, very important, it will download it to a temporary file and voila, it will be opened inside of Visual Code. Now, look what happens. If I just edit something, I don't know what, just edit something, and I press Ctrl S on my keyboard, I'll save it, and I drop it down, the file has changed. Do you want to upload this file back to the server? That's perfect. If you click on yes, it will immediately be uploaded to your hosting company. And of course, there are other ways you can do this, but this just seems like the most simple and easiest way to change all your files using FileZilla. Now you go to a new tab, fill in the URL of your website, and then we type /install.php, the installer we've just created with Gemini, and then you press enter. This is pretty neat, right? Okay, self-destruct sequence initiated. This looks awesome, but we only have 10 seconds. So copy this, press right click, press copy, because this will self-destruct this information. So you need to store it somewhere inside of your password manager, and we can always change it later on. And now we are at your website system login. Awesome. Now we're going to log into this website in just a second. I first want to see the entire website. So we just copy this URL and go to a new tab. And let's see what Gemini created for us in our e-commerce website. And there we are. This is what Gemini has created for me. This is pretty awesome. Look at this. Very nice. USBs everywhere. The menu is sticky on the top. And we have all these products. Oh, they're missing a few items. Wow, I like this. I like this a lot. Let's see if a product works. Press on View Details. Here we go. We have different kind of images. We can add it to the cart. Oh wow, the shopping cart still needs to be changed, as you can see. And we can press on Proceed to Checkout. And the checkout also still needs to be adjusted. But this is pretty nice. Consoles, watches, I can search here for my toaster and it's over there. We have this beautiful front page. These are categories. I can go to wearables. There's not a product filter in here. I still need to add that in also. But this looks really awesome for a website. Completely free with Gemini. I am blown away a little bit. I really like this. Alright, let's log in the backend and see how that goes. To do that, you go to your website /admin/login.php. And this is where we go. This looks pretty nice, although I think it's a bit inspired by WordPress, but hey, who cares? It's just a login screen. To log in now, you enter in the data that we've just received from the install.php file. And this is then the back end of our website. This is beautiful. We have here the Molly API key, test or live. We can put it live, we can save the settings. Awesome, quick actions, add a new product. I didn't even ask for it, but sounds great. Then we go to products. Wow, this is the list of our entire products, the demo products that he put into this. Looks great. And we have the order management. Of course, no new orders yet. Let's go to the products. And let's see over here, once I added one, let's see the folded phone. I press on edit. This is now our edit product page. It responds really quickly, it's perfect. And we can add in all kind of images, change the prices, and we have some SEO settings and metadata. I like this. Yes, that's what I requested, of course. All right, let's change the folded phone. I'm going to upload a few images. Let's see how that works. Click over here. I can just open up a file. I can add in more for the gallery, so let's do that. This all works. Well, let's change this all. This queue is folded phone, I don't know, price. The categories, we can create new categories. This is really awesome. Then the SEO settings, the Google title. We have more search engines than only Google, but all right, let's put it in. Order folded iPhone 2026 in Digitech and the meta description. All right, let's press save changes and see what it does right now. Sending the request. Product successfully saved. Wow, pretty amazing. Let's go to the dashboard and get back to products. And we can see here is our folded phone right now. Nice. I cannot click on it, so I have to fix that. Then I just scroll down to see my folded iPhone. There it is. Click on view details and I can use different kind of images. Beautifully AI generated all, but this is awesome. Folded iPhone, the stock keeping unit is great. The URL is also exactly what I told them to be. And if we then look at the database, because I know a lot of you guys want to see this, you can see what it created over here. We have products, settings, users, orders, and login attempts. The login attempts is if you log in more often than 5 times. If you try, it will be locked out for 30 minutes. And this is the way the products are being, written out. It has the description, the price, the category, the image URL. And then we have the meta title and meta description. It's only been filled in for the iPhone folded because that's where I changed it. And to change our website, we can work in 2 ways. We can add our files by pressing this button and upload your file. What you can also do is just delete this one. And then this is my prompt. This is the checkout page on a website called Digitech. I want to change it, add it, basic stuff, save it inside of the database. Here's the current checkout, make your changes and give me the new file. That's basically it. And we press on submit. And once it's done, we're just going to copy the code. We just paste it in over here. We press on save. And in FileZilla, do we want to upload it? Press yes. And then on our website, we press on F5, refresh, and there we go. Now we have a way better checkout. Look at this. It's amazing and it's just that simple. Now, if you have questions or you bump into problems or you just want to say, hey, thank you, Matt, drop it down in the comments. I'll always reply. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more amazing Gemini videos just like this one over here, when I'll show you exactly how to build a brochure website in 15 minutes. Hope to see you in the next video.